You recently went down to Tough. Can you explain that experience, and can you explain that UFC Boston came to town? Where were you as far as preparation to possibly being called up for this event for UFC Boston?
Okay, yeah. So with Tough, like I went down and I got a good look at all. I brought in a lot of talent because it's an undefeated season, and I got a good look at the kind of people that were going to be there on the show. It gives you a good gauge of the teams, how different styles like come together and all meet up in the same spot. I got to meet a bunch of the people that worked there too, and that was an awesome little experience for me. In terms of UFC Boston, Case is a week away from it, so I was doing my whole fight camp just in case they call you, in case they want me up on the show, and it would have been awesome to fight in front of my friends and family in Boston, but it didn't happen. But I prepared in a UFC style manner for an awesome opponent at Cage Titans too, and I honestly appreciate the opportunity to fight again in Plymouth with all my Cage Titans family and friends.
So I was curious, who gave you the cut on the top of the nose?
My mom. No, I'm just joking. I was sparring heavyweight in the gym, and he picked up he picked up his knee, and I moved into it. And I actually had a cut before there, and so it was just it just reopened. It's just skin, Awesome. So it was weaker skin, but cut it open. Looking handsome again. So.
Yeah. What is most attractive when you see this fight against Mike? I know you said it's just going to be another way to test yourself, but when you saw it on paper, and I don't know how much you've actually watched him, what do you see different from the previous opponents that you've faced?
So the further you go into the sport, the less people are scared of each other, the less they're scared of styles, the better they are, the less afraid they are of taking challenges. And so this is a fight where I feel like I'm pretty fearless in terms of who I face and how I fight. And I think this guy is very fearless too, because he took this fight no problem. We were supposed to fight last show, but I just had so much stuff going on. He took his fight, and he's a fearless competitor clearly.
Nice. So
me and him fighting each other, we both have a lot to lose and just so much to gain from this fight too. Like I said earlier, it's just two awesome records being put up against with each other, and the winner looks like they have a pretty clear way to the UFC. Not guaranteed, but it's certainly a huge feather in the cap for both of us being the other one. I want to be ready for the UFC at the end of the day. So, this is the caliber guy that you're gonna find in the UFC. This isn't the kind of guy that's gonna. If I fought a can right now, that would be doing nothing for me in terms of preparation for the 11-4 guys that I'm gonna be fighting in the UFC, and having a record like that, being a dangerous striker, and he's a dangerous striker, but I'm sure he's wrestled. He knows submissions. It's not like I've never been punched before. I know how to throw punches. I know how to kick. I know all this. We both know everything. And so it's just. Being able to understand that right when you go into the fight and saying all right, the margin of error is so small when it comes down to a fight like this, and still being able to perform your best when you have all these things at risk. You have your whole career that one wrong move and then
we've seen it last year happen.
Exactly, and at the same time you have everything to gain, but you can't let any of that stuff get in your way, and you have to find out the right way to do everything. And you have to do what you need to be successful at the end of the night on the 27th. And so I'm definitely going to do everything I can to beat this guy on the 27th. And I'm sure he's going to do everything to beat me on the 27th. And, locally there's not a lot of fights that happen at this high of a level. So you guys should definitely come down to Cage Titans, check out all the fights that night, but especially the main event.
All right, awesome. So, do you take pride in, or how much of your mental preparation is driven by maybe beating your opponent at their own game? Because we talked earlier about being fearless and not shying away from going on the ground with a submission specialist. And is there, building up to the training camp, any of that drive to yourself saying, yeah?
Yeah, you know, but like anyone's a satisfying win, though, you know. And so there's things about every aspect that's kind of funny, you know, like you start being somebody striking that thinks they're gonna beat you, and then all of a sudden you start being like, oh hey, like look, I can do this too. And but like, end of the day, we're not professionals to take risks. We're professionals to fight the right way, the way that we need to. And you know, like if I need to come in striking, I'm gonna come in striking. And I don't know. I think there's like some weird assumption that we can't do the other. Yeah. The other aspects of the sport, like the fighters, like just because Hernandez is a striker
Doesn't mean.
well, like what if he shoots down and takes me down? You know, he's definitely, I think he's a D1 wrestler or something like that. So or what's to say that I'm not gonna start striking too? You know, like I've done it for 10 years, so I don't know. Like you never know. You never know. I think of implement my game plan as in implement it with the boundaries that he's going to give me of a striking, you know, a knockout artist. So, you know, whether I have to strike with him to get what I need out of it, or whether, you know, I just, you know, there's a million different ways this fight can play out, and it's about picking the smartest way this fight can play out, and make him never comfortable in this fight at all whatsoever.
Manny, I greatly appreciate it. It's a big deal. You always give me time. You always pay us a lot of respect here. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you. Cage Titans 37 at the Plymouth Memorial Hall.
Follow us on Instagram. Watch us on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. Visit us on Twitter. And stay tuned.